Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another dive in my learnings on the book of Daniel. Okay, so yesterday we talked about chapter 1 and few learnings about God's sovereignty. So today is nothing else but that again. But I just want to start this conversation with something very tricky, right? We live in a time today when we're free to have any form of comments online on in writing or in public about leadership, but yet we are still alive. Now, I'm not saying that it's the same in every country, but some countries in the world you can't open your mouth and talk about some leadership without being killed. But yet we are going to dive into a book where you didn't even need to talk about it. You just have to tell him what his dream is. And if you don't tell him what his dream is, he's going to kill you. You and your family and your children. That was dark. That was very, very dark. Okay. So let's learn about what God is doing in those times and what God is still doing and what we're still learning about God through those times and how it's reflected to my own learning, my own life today. Okay. So, chapter 2 is about Nebuchadnezzar and his dream. One of the first dream that was revealed to us in the Bible. Okay. By the way, do you believe in the Bible actually? Do you believe those stories are true? Right. So, I'm 100% sure that a lot of Christians actually read the stories and don't believe it. I heard someone saying to my daughter when she was in secondary school that those stories are made up stories to make us believe about God. Now, I know sometimes it feels that way. I tell you the truth. But if you do not believe in the Old Testament, forget about the New Testament. That's a fact. Just forget about believing in God in the first place. I felt like I just have to throw it out there. Those stories are quite scary. They're quite unreal. But they real in a lot of way because they actually reveals there's nothing new under the sun. It reveals who we are today. So let's dive in. Okay. So I would not read the chapter because I would invite you to read it yourself and to ask God to reveal to you what he wants to reveal to you about himself. But then I don't also assume that the revelation I have about God is unique to me. So let's dive in and let's see if we agreed. Okay. So Nebuchadnezzar has a dream. He wants his wizard and some of his wise men to reveal the dream to him, but then they can't reveal the dream to him. He's now decided, you don't tell me what my dream is. You die, your children die. Daniel gets to hear about it. And lo and behold, does what any God fearing man would do, put his knees down, seek out for help, and then he gets the revelation about the dream. So that's why we're starting on verses 18. Okay, verses 18 to 19. What I learned about God while reading, and what does the Bible say about God while I was reading it? I'm focusing about what we say about God, and I'm going to insist about it is that I'm learning through my Christian life that the knowledge of God help us to fear him, to obey him, and help us to stay grounded. So let's dive in. Verses 18 to 19. God is the author and giver of mercy. So through an emotional state of mind, Daniel goes in, cry out to God because he doesn't want to die. I insist on the fact that he didn't want to die. That's why he prayed. And he wasn't totally aware of what's going on. He just said, okay, this guy has asked us to, we're going to die. This guy is going crazy. Let me just ask. The only person who can actually give me an answer, and he trusted that God would give him an answer, and lo and behold, he got an answer. But I'm insisting on the fact that what caught my attention is the fact that he prayed because he didn't want to die. He asked God to reveal because he didn't want to die. Okay, so our emotion are a powerful tool to be used to reach out to God in praise or in prayer. Okay, that's one of the underlying learning there. Now, obviously, number one learning, author God is a Yahuwah, the creator of this planet. He is the author and giver of mercy. Only him. Now, learning number two. So we are going to go into talk about the name of God. The name of God, Yahuwah, there is no other name, is one of power and might. God alone is the author and of all authority. He changes times and seasons. He set up kings and removed them. So we talked about it on chapter 1. We see that again here. He sets up, I know, it's very hard to swallow, but he sets up kings and removes them. God gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge for those who have understanding. Again and again, our wisdom, our knowledge, me being able to even read and understand this, God is giving me that knowledge and understanding. God is the giver, nothing else. No amount of study you do every day gives you understanding. God is the giver of knowledge and understanding, and He reveals deep and hidden things. God knows what lies in the dark, and dwells within Him, and light dwells within Him. This is the mercy of God. Okay. Now, verses 28, learning number 3. God reveals mysteries. He wants to make them known when He wants, to whom He wants. God shows what is to come, and He reveals it to those He chooses. Okay. Now, learning number 5, the mystery was revealed to Daniel not because he was wiser than anyone else, but so that the interpretation could be made known to the king. Now, I want to spend a little bit of a minute on that in a few minutes, but let me go to learning number 6 first. Learning number 6, I took some of my notes. Sorry, I have to stay focused. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The great God, the creator of this planet, showed Nebuchadnezzar, the king, what will take place in the future. God planned the time and events ahead of time. He wants us to know what will happen. All right? So that's then the final learning is the king acknowledged that the king Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged that God is the God of all gods, the Lord of kings. He recognized that Daniel's God reveals mystery, but the king did not submit to him. Okay, so where I'm heading with this is my underlining amazing and revelation for myself was, number 1, Daniel actually prayed because he didn't want to die. So he was emotional. So he clearly went and said to God, I don't want to die. Please give me what this dream is about. That changes the way you pray. In fairness, is one of the most powerful way of approaching God. I felt that way. And God saw his heart and the honesty of his heart. And God revealed to him what needed to be revealed. Okay? Now, the other thing, underlining thing that I was amazed about is the fact that God actually revealed the dream gave the dream to Nebuchadnezzar. God gave the dream to Nebuchadnezzar. So Nebuchadnezzar was a wicked man. I mean, the startup of the Bible, of the chapter shows you how wicked it was, okay? But yet God chose to reveal to him the second coming of Christ, the end of the earth, the end of days. Now, I don't know about you, that is changing a lot on the narrative and the arrogance that we Christians might have sometimes, thinking that is what we do and how we do it that make us smarter or reveal. And also it made me realize that a lot of times, sometimes it's not because someone claimed to be a prophet and have a mystery from God that doesn't make them close to God. All right. So that's what I understood from this. And I also understood that, yes, God can decide to reveal his mystery to the unlikely, right? Now, would they have the understanding of it? I don't know. Maybe they will have the understanding of it, but nevertheless, the mystery and the understanding of the dream was given to Daniel. But that was for Daniel to give it to the king, to reveal it to the king. So God still wanted the king at some point to know about what will happen to the end. Why would a God want a wicked man to know about what will happen to the end? that shows to me the mercy of God, the love of God for every human being, and how he wants to reach out to our heart, right? I'm amazed by this, right? So I just want to leave you with that thought, okay? My quote for the day again. And before we go to the quote, I'm going to say that Daniel 2 was about a God who speaks, a God who reveals, a God who has a plan, a God who shows mercy, and a God who invites us to be part of it. I'm really excited about that, and that gives me a sense of hope and a sense of peace and a sense of reverence. Now, another one that I want to say is King Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged the power of God with his mouth. He praises God, but that did not make him obedient and closer to God. So, not everybody who prays and talk about God nice way are obedient. So, in line of that, I would like to end up my talk with my quote of the week. Bible literacy is on the rise. Churches are full, or a lot of people are online. I myself am online talking about God, but obedience to God through Jesus, the Messiah, is in decline. May God help us all. Thank you.